Young and the Restless Weekly Spoilers August 26th to 30th. Phyllis blames Diane, Lucy in danger. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Phyllis Summers, portrayed by Michelle Stafford, blames Diane Jenkins for her current woes, while Lucy Romalotti, played by Lily Brooks O'Brien, finds herself in danger alongside Faith Newman, played by Raylyn Castor. And our spoilers also show that tension escalates as Nick Newman, portrayed by Joshua Morrow, gives his ex-wife Phyllis some advice, urging her to support their daughter Summer Newman, played by Allison Lanier, but not stir the pot. Meanwhile, Lucy's parents, Daniel Romalotti and Heather Stevens, are concerned about her rebellious ways, which eventually lead to a harrowing car accident. And more. Why our spoilers hint that Sally Spectra, portrayed by Courtney Hope, demands Adam Newman, played by Mark Grossman, to reveal the truth about his deceptions. As the week progresses, Victor Newman, also known as the Mustache and portrayed by Eric Braeden, tries to exploit the growing distance between Kyle Abbott and his father, Jack Abbott. The episode ends with a cliffhanger as Claire Newman confronts Summer about her future. Get all your daily Young and the Restless spoilers and news here at Soap Dirt. And stay tuned for updates on your favorite characters' fates. The end of summer in Genoa City had never felt this turbulent. As the sun rose sluggishly on Monday morning, casting long, uncertain shadows across the town, tensions simmered just beneath the surface. The city felt on edge, as though it were holding its breath. Phyllis Summers stood in front of the Abbott mansion, arms folded, eyes steely with a storm behind them. She wasn't there to reconcile or to pretend. Not anymore. Every fiber of her being pulsed with blame, sharp, pointed, and directed squarely at Diane Jenkins. The bitter taste of betrayal lingered, and Phyllis believed she had connected the final dots in a pattern that only she seemed to see. To her, Diane wasn't just a rival. She was the architect of chaos, slinking in and out of everyone's lives like a ghost in red lipstick. Inside the Abbott home, Diane moved about with an air of curated grace, the kind that looked practiced and polished. Her world was seemingly intact, but Phyllis sensed a fracture, a hairline crack in Diane's carefully composed mask. And Phyllis intended to widen it. All week, Phyllis built her case, weaving suspicions into something resembling proof. She prowled hallways, lurked near elevators, and uncovered half-shredded papers from trash bins with the precision of a woman who had played this game far too long. She watched, waited, documented. Diane had left traces, financial oddities, unusual meetings, and that faint connection to someone from Phyllis's past who'd suddenly reappeared. As Thursday neared, Phyllis could almost taste vindication. But while one fire flared in the Abbott orbit, another ignited across town. Lucy Romalotti was in trouble. It began subtly: an unread text message, a missing library book, and a forgotten promise to meet Daniel for lunch. Just the sort of things a distracted teenager might do. But this was different. Her sketchpad sat untouched. Her music unplayed. Her eyes, when she looked up, were wide and distant. There was something she wasn't saying, and it clung to her like fog on an autumn morning. Heather Stevens sensed it first. A mother's intuition, unspoken but real. Lucy was pulling away, and not in the way all teens do. This was withdrawal laced with fear. By midweek, signs intensified. Lucy was late from school twice. She'd started avoiding video calls with her cousin Faith, and she didn't laugh anymore. Her backpack was heavier than usual, as if she were hiding more than just textbooks. Daniel, busy navigating his own tangled past, initially missed the cues. But once he noticed, the realization hit him like a train. Something was wrong, very wrong. At Chancellor Winters, Billy sensed the shift in the wind. News traveled fast in Genoa City. Rumors reached his desk in hushed tones. And Billy, with his ever-present sense for trouble, started digging into connections between Lucy's sudden silence and a recent rash of suspicious activity near the art community she'd been involved with. By Thursday afternoon, what started as instinct hardened into fear. Lucy wasn't just skipping appointments or dodging homework. She was being watched. From the shadows of the park, someone was following her. The person blended well, no loud footsteps, no sudden movements, but Lucy felt it. The eyes on her back. The uneasy prickle on her skin. At first, she thought she was imagining it. Then she saw the same gray car twice in a row, parked just across from crimson lights. That night, she kept the lights off in her room and sat beside the window, staring into the darkness, heart pounding like a drum. Back at the Grand Phoenix, Phyllis's obsession with Diane began to alienate even her allies. Summer grew weary. Nick tried to intervene quietly. But Phyllis was lost in her mission, convinced that the only way to restore order was to take Diane down, no matter the cost. Phyllis's private investigation led her to a name, Michael Wexler. A former associate of Diane's during her time in Los Angeles. He had recently resurfaced in Genoa City under a different name. She tracked his movements and noticed he'd been near Newman Tower. Why? What was he doing there? And then she made a connection, a chilling one. Michael Wexler, alias Jordan McRae, was also tied to a mentorship program Lucy had briefly joined earlier in the summer. The implications hit hard. Friday dawned thick with tension. The sky, overcast and heavy, matched the mood in every corner of the city. Lucy went missing. She hadn't shown up for school. Her phone pinged last at a downtown art space. Daniel, in full panic mode, contacted the authorities. Heather combed Lucy's room for clues. She found the sketch pad, open to a page with a detailed drawing of a man's silhouette, tall, broad shoulders, with a single distinctive scar drawn across the jawline. The figure loomed over a girl sitting on a bench, her face blank. Phyllis saw the drawing and froze. It was him. The man she believed Diane had brought into town. Everything clicked. Diane, whether knowingly or not, had led danger straight to Lucy. Phyllis's fury boiled over. She stormed to the Abbott mansion again, this time not with warnings, but with evidence. The sketch, the name, the connections. Her mind screamed that Diane had to answer for this. Even if she didn't wield the knife, she handed it over. Diane stood frozen when confronted with the facts. She hadn't known, or at least, that's what her face suggested. The weight of Phyllis's accusations bore down on her, and she staggered under the guilt, real or not. Jack watched in disbelief as the two women stood across from one another, decades of rivalry crystallizing into this moment. Elsewhere in the city, Chance Chancellor received a lead. A sighting. Lucy had been seen heading into an abandoned warehouse near the old district. She wasn't alone. By sunset, Chance and Daniel were at the scene. The place was empty now, dusty footprints, a half-empty bottle of water, and the same gray car parked around the corner, engine still warm. But no Lucy. Then they heard it, a faint banging noise from below. A locked cellar door. They pried it open. Lucy was there, shaken but alive, arms wrapped tightly around her knees, eyes darting toward the corner as if the shadows themselves could leap. No words, no screams, just a long, silent exhale when she saw her father. Relief, tempered with trauma. At crimson lights that night, the city breathed again. Friends gathered quietly. Sharon lit a candle behind the counter. Victoria sent a text to Daniel offering support. Nate sat alone, pondering the ripple effect of every action. But not everyone rested. Phyllis stood on the rooftop of the Grand Phoenix, staring into the night. She had been right, and yet, there was no satisfaction in it. Only the growing knowledge that darkness never truly leaves Genoa City, it only waits for the next opening. And Diane? She retreated inward. Whatever her role, she knew the judgment would linger. Not just from Phyllis, but from the entire city. Trust was fragile, and hers had cracked again.